Blaser are relatively new to the world of shotguns. And when they invited me to their factory in Germany to take a sneak peek at a brand new high-end competition gun they're producing, how could I refuse?
These guys do it differently to everybody else. I just can't get over how efficient it is as a process. The words associated with DLC, plasma gun, it's mad. It's a magic machine. Just like a dishwasher. It's a very well thought through gun. Big thumbs up.
With bated breath, I travelled to Germany and walked into the Blaser showroom.
So somehow over the last 2 days, these guys have managed to keep the new gun from me. I've seen none of the manufacture, no pictures, nothing. There's one in the room behind you. Let's go. This is exciting.
It is. So, welcome Johnny. This is the new FBX.
I mean it's a good looking gun.
Yeah.
And there's certain things that are evidently new. Scroll back action, completely redesigned monoblock system. There's a spare trigger in the box, so...
Removable trigger, yes.
But they're still inline hammers.
Yeah.
So my guess would be that this is a redesigned top-end F3.
New redesigned F3 with a new architecture inside.
Okay, so taking what you've learned
Yeah.
and making something bigger and better.
Making one step ahead. What is the secret about our FBX? It's all about balance and weight distribution. The physical weight is not that important.
Not at all, right? There's some 9.5 pound guns out there that feel like and move like 7 pound guns,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
vice versa.
To balance the gun right in the middle, you can put 2 kilos on the muzzle, 2 kilos on the stock, and the balance point will be right in the middle. Other way to do it is to put all the weight in the middle, and the balance point will be the same. But to shoot the gun, the shootability will be completely different.
So we've beefed up the action, right? It's definitely thicker. We've got these new raised half side plates.
Yeah.
Back in the fences here, clearly there's just more metal hanging around the middle.
It's a combination between a fat body, and if you look close, you see a round body action in front of it.
Okay.
And that's because this is really the center of gravity of that gun.
Yeah.
So it is balanced in all directions. The next important thing is recoil reduction. The stock is basically the first connection part between shooter and gun. For the stock fit, a lot of measurements are important, like stock length, drop, cast, pitch, but it's more the dimensions or the shape of the stock. First of all, we added a big recoil pad, a large surface. A big contact point on your shoulder to spread the recoil on a big surface.
This is a Sporting Clays trap fit-esque gun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
it is.
you are going to be locked into it.
Yeah. So next connection point of the shooter, of course, shoulder and your right hand. The grip is a little bit steeper and the palm swell is very, very big. This is basically part of your shoulder.
And should reduce recoil because you're taking some of it into the palm
exactly.
of your hand. Moving on, detachable trigger.
You're not going to need it, but just in case, you have a detachable trigger. And let's have a closer look on the receiver. It is machined out of one piece. No trigger plate screwed in, it's just one piece. The linear hammers. It was hard to get linear hammers into a removable trigger plate. This knob has to slide in and then just push it in. That's it.
And it's got a screw to hold it in place.
Yeah. If something happened, you have one minute, 2 minutes, and opening one screw doesn't take that long.
Inertia trigger or mechanical?
Mechanical trigger, for sure.
Trigger.
Yeah. We took all of the good proven mechanical things from the F3. EBS, IBS system, mechanical triggers is located in this trigger unit. So also this is prevent from dry firing. If you slide it in, it will push it down and will free the trigger to release the hammers.
Okay.
So now it is secured
It's nice.
Yeah, by the way, diamond-like carbon is a standard thing on the FBX, on all visible steel parts. We have a balancing system in our stock. So you know this balancer rod? So if you want to add a little bit more weight, just put the balancer rod without weights. If you want to add more weight, just one balancer weight, and so on. New to the world is our balancing system on the barrel in the forend.
Hey, that's cute.
So here are 3 weights.
That's a lovely piece of engineering.
Yeah.
That really is nice.
The weight is in your hand. If the weight is over your hand and you give that first impulse, it's a pendulum effect. So the barrel will not be straight. If the weight is in your hand, you move the weight with your hand. So that's a straight movement.
It's a low center of gravity.
Yeah, and that's the idea behind our balancer system in the forend, to have the weight in your hand.
It's a very well thought through gun.
Yeah.
I think everything about it, you can see the reason behind it, and it's clearly made to achieve a purpose of just creating a damn good gun.
Exactly.
It still has all the Blaser charm, the engineering, the thought process behind it, but I think historically Blaser shotguns have been their own thing, right? This has a lot of qualities that the best guns,
Of course.
undeniably, in the world have.
Yeah.
Barrels.
Barrels? It's a kind of rocket science. It's a completely redesign from the monoblock tubes, outside shape, measurements, inside diameter, our triplex plus
It's a
inside.
much better looking set of barrels. It's racier looking.
Yeah.
Cool.
Thin wall
I was
chokes.
going to say thin wall chokes as well, so there's no big
No.
swell.
Yeah. Of course, you will get fixed chokes
If you want.
if you want. This is a drawing of just one tube, and every centimeter has its own measure.
So the choke is pre-choked.
Yeah,
So this is a completely new barrel technology for Blaser.
completely new.
This is my kind of gun. Interchangeable barrels, all the standard Blaser features.
Yeah,
Well done.
thank you.
So on the surface, this gun looks pretty mega. But I was about to learn so much more. An education that I'm going to share with you today. I learned the process Blaser uses to guarantee part interchangeability. I learned all about Blaser's precision machining processes, how the new barrel profile reduces muzzle flip,
That is a real big difference.
Yeah, same chokes, same load, everything the same.
and how Blaser do their own DLC coating in-house,
To see it in real life, that was cool.
as well as giving this new gun an extensive test back in the UK.
Oh wow, that's a big target.
We even filmed a full factory tour that will be released soon enough. But before all that, it's time to learn about the Blaser 4D custom stock service.
This is quite a cool piece of kit. Definitely more engineered than any other tri-gun I've ever seen.
Typically German, no?
For a little over £1,000, Blaser will make a stock to your 4 main dimensions: length, cast, drop and pitch.
Do you like to shoot with that much rib, or should we go further down a little bit?
That much rib's not bad.
Not bad.
If you want to visit the factory and have the full works, it's a bit more money but guarantees perfection with a pattern stock stage being added to the process. And once dimensions have been decided on, it's 35 minutes until the pattern stock will be complete and ready for testing.
Well done. Perfect. In 35 minutes you will have your model stock.
35 minutes?
Yeah, 35 minutes.
35 minutes?
Yeah.
That's insane. If you're sat in Maryland
Yeah.
or Hampshire,
Yeah.
you can go to your dealer,
Yes.
they can send the measurements in,
Yes.
hey presto, 35 minutes, you send the stock back.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
pretty sick.
Yes.
But if you're coming here, you can still fine tune
Absolutely.
and be an annoying customer.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a very cool process. Behind you, they're getting plugged into the computer to create a CNC path to turn this grade 1 piece of walnut into the pattern stock. Certainly this is the process when you come here to the factory, although for those of you around the world, your measurements will just get done straight onto a grade 5. I really love the mystery and the magic of gun making. Obviously, you probably know that by now. But I also like the socialization of fine gun making. And as somebody who likes custom stocks and needs custom stocks, having accessible custom stocks to everyone around the world, thumbs up.
Heading into the factory, we were faced by a series of very high-end machines.
So like all guns, it begins life as lumps of metal.
Yeah, that's right.
Before going through a couple of machining phases and coming out pretty much finished.
Takes around 2.5 hours. No handwork on it. We can see all the details. Imagine if you have to do it all by hand.
The precision that Blaser machines to is absolutely outstanding.
You can see this is right from the machine and the trigger group fits in. So there's no handwork in it.
That's some good engineering right there. I have questions about this, right? I guess with a trigger plate or trigger unit, it doesn't need to be micron perfect fit, right? This isn't fine gun making, this is practicality over hours spent polishing something in.
Yeah.
With this, I get it. Surely with barrels, it matters more. Because every other gun maker in the world hand files and fits their barrels, except you.
Yeah. If you look at other Blaser products like the R8, it's a modular system, F3 modular system, FBX now modular system. And to achieve that every barrel, every stock fits in every receiver, and now every trigger group fits in every receiver, we have to have machines like this, tight tolerances. It's not just one quality control at the end of the manufacturing. In between the steps, take measures, not just one measurement counts, also the chain of all measurements and the tolerances from the chain has a huge effect for the modular part. Second step, it will fit into the receiver as well. So right out of the box, it's a little bit sharp. You don't have to fit it in, file it in.
Due to the new profile of the monoblock, there's one more process added in before polishing and surface treatment. Wire electrical discharge machining.
So basically this is a wire cutting machine.
With a robotic loader, because Blaser loves robots.
Yeah, exactly. You can see the robotic arm here.
This process allows for a perfectly smooth tapered finish, ready to accept the perfectly machined barrel tubes without hours and hours of hand filing.
This is crazy technology.
Yeah, and it's
the precision with which these cut is just some exceptional engineering, right?
Yeah.
Takes some time, but it's worth it.
Yeah, it is. Now all the parts for the barrel are ready. There's a quality control between a few steps, not just at the end of the row. Machined receiver, machined monoblock, and in between here is quality control.
In order to produce a gun that clicks together, they need to be perfect.
Yeah.
All laser engraving is also done in this room. And the engraving on the top-end FBX is one of the most beautiful styles I have seen on a production gun.
That's a good looking piece of engraving.
Yeah,
I like that.
So this will be one of our serial laser engravings. Of course, there are the heavy custom hand-engraved guns, but we will offer, of course, with the short frame and with the side plate frame, we'll offer serial engravings. Just a scroll with game scene, etc. Everything. Takes around 30-35 hours to laser engrave this receiver.
I was going to say, this is pretty, you can feel the depth, you can see the depth. Laser engravers are incredible machines when you run them for long enough.
Yeah, that's right. Earlier today, we looked at the raw tubes for the FBX.
And the blueprints.
I showed you all the secrets and effort we put into having a good balanced shotgun and less recoil. But there's another thing you have to be very careful when producing barrel, and that's penetration. And therefore we did over 45, actually 48 different tubes All the drawings, different inside, outside shape of the barrels, forcing cones, chokes, cylindrical parts, everything.
It's a trial and error.
Yeah, kind.
concept.
That's what we do now. 48 barrels to finally get to this shape. Here are two ballistic shell blocks. One is with the serial barrel and one is with the prototype. Here you can see just a few pellets sticking in.
But plenty of channels
Yeah.
that have exited.
Yeah.
Whereas here, they're all sat 5 to 6 centimeters inside the gel.
Yeah,
And that's the difference between a prototype barrel and the end result.
yeah. And the thing is that this barrel has more recoil than a serial production. Top barrel, one shot with the prototype and next
Exchange.
shot, exchange, and next shot with serial production.
Let's go.
Okay.
The difference between these two barrels was quite serious.
That one jumped around more.
Yeah.
This I felt more in my shoulder, which is what we discussed earlier today, right?
Yeah.
The linear recoil is significantly better than the muzzles.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you're not removing recoil, you are controlling it.
Yeah,
That is a real big difference.
yeah. Same chokes, same load, everything the same.
After the recoil test, it was on to penetration testing.
15 meters, 32 grams of 3 shot.
Yeah.
That's an ounce and an eighth of 3s.
Right into the ballistic shell.
All right, let's get it done.
Okay.
Yeah, the majority have gone all the way through there, haven't they?
Yeah.
And then what's not is a centimeter from the edge.
Maybe 1 centimeter, yes.
We're not 4, 5,
Yeah.
6 centimeters that we saw in the block back.
From the prototype, yes.
Yeah, suddenly you understand those clouds of feathers, don't you?
The surface of the FBX Action is DLC coated in-house. This is something that I was very excited to see.
Hello, Chief Technical Officer.
Hey, Johnny, nice to meet you.
And you, sir. Today, you're going to show me the DLC process,
All right,
which I've learnt a lot about technically but have never seen.
okay, that's great. In total, we have 7 steps in our Blaser Surface Technology Center here.
Let's go.
Let's go. The first step would be an industrial cleaning process. It's
To take all of any wax, stone, oil, residue.
all the manufacturing residues need to get away because we need to blast it. And the whole process takes about 15 minutes.
It's a very expensive washing machine. It's a dishwasher.
It's an expensive dishwasher, exactly.
Just like a dishwasher.
It's just like a dishwasher, and if you can imagine, your part is being processed in the middle of the machine, and anything else is needed to get it cleaned.
Imagine how clean your plates will be. The clean wash part now goes in here.
It's automatically rotated into the blasting position. It's going to take the basic look and feel from the final part before it's going to be coated.
Again, it's just about consistency of finish,
Yep,
and once that's done, it gets washed again.
that's right.
Oh wow, it's a bit more powerful than the ones we saw yesterday. After a wash, into this.
Into this. This is called a plasma nitrating furnace.
A plasma discharge of hydrogen and nitrogen gases is used to heat the metal and introduce nitrogen atoms into the surface layer of the steel.
Exactly. So plasma nitrating is using heat, nitrogen, it's using voltage and vacuum, and all this secret recipe ends up with a perfectly hardened surface so that we can rely on the durability, as I said before, for the receiver.
This process is very controlled and ergo fits perfectly into Blaser's production philosophy.
After heat treat, another wash, and then it comes into this.
Warp machine, more or less.
Yeah, the words associated with DLC, plasma gun, well, it's mad.
It's a magic machine, and you've seen the coloration during the process itself. So we call it the DLC A+ coating, which means we have a plasma-assisted chemical vapor deposition of all the secret ingredients. We're going to put on heat, put on vacuum again, and then just switch on the voltage.
It's so cool. Like this is a proper modern surface treatment. The fact that this exists now really excites me for what's going to exist in another 50 years' time. I mean, I don't know how we'd improve on it because you showed me what you did to this earlier, and I don't want to do it.
Yes. So this is our production probe, which runs for QA purposes in every our furnaces. And what you're going to see here, you take your hunting knife, and then you try to get it off. The coloring is depending on the secrets you put in, and the hardness is depending on the liquid that you put in to get the perfect coating of just 4 microns.
I know DLC, everyone is jumping on the DLC bandwagon, and I'm glad, because it's the coolest thing we've invented for a while.
That's right. And we're trying to apply it on every surface we can, because it gives you the utmost corrosion resistance, the hardest surface that you can get, and you will see no wear and tear throughout the whole hunting or sporting a lifetime of a professional shotgun.
With the FBX, pretty much every part, barrels, action, trigger.
Every metal part that you handle, that you have in your hand, that you use for world-class tournaments is going to be DLC coated in order to make it perfect.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Sorry. Thank you, Chief.
Bye.
Once the parts are finished, they are all assembled in one of the many buildings here at Blaser. One of these finished guns was fitted with my pattern stock, and it was time to see how it fit in real life.
Earlier today, we got the measurements done. Those measurements went into a machine. 35 minutes later, that stock was ready. I wasn't ready, and now we're here to take the first shots with that stock. They've got an underground shooting cinema, because why shouldn't a factory have such a thing? Kind of excited? Let's go.
We have your model pattern stock. So this is your pattern stock.
All right. Feels good.
Yeah?
Yeah, feels good. That looks pretty spicy.
Yes. So we're almost in the middle, like 1 inch to the left, a little bit above. But this is, I think, caused by the drop. You want to see a little bit of rip.
I mean, it's not bad, right? Maybe an extra millimeter of cast, but let's be honest.
This is actually what it's here for. So now we know that we have to do a little adjustment with the cast, and then it's perfect, huh?
Yeah, that was a real, I mean, everything else feels good, recoil's minimal, everything tucks in nicely.
Yeah.
I'd say you did a good job, well done.
Thank you very much, sir.
Almost like you've done this before.
Maybe.
With that, I headed back to the UK, where a few weeks later I met up with Robin at Honesbury Shooting Ground to give the gun a proper test.
It would be wrong not to include a standard TGS back to front in a video like this. At the back you have a squidgy rubber kick ease pad, good for absorbing recoil, although I think we've established this gun doesn't have a lot. The wood comes as standard as grade 5, wood upgrades are available. I think honestly this wood is perfectly adequate. Handles recoil well, probably won't break. If you want to go up, beware that it is for you and nothing else, and that's actually okay. Having super beautiful guns is nice. Life is too short to have an ugly gun, but I quite like this. The safety catch on top here is non-selectable. I really like how sleek and small this whole part of the gun is. I've always been a big fan of that. And on the bottom is your selector inside the trigger guard there. The trigger is also fully adjustable forward and back, and the trigger unit is detachable with a screw. Blaser made the decision not to make it quick detachable because, generally speaking, if there is an issue, well, you'll have a tool to be able to take that out. It only takes a minute and it's much more secure in their eyes than some of the other options. This currently is plain, it will have Blaser branding put on it. This is a pre-production prototype because I've been very lucky to be able to come and play, well, and sign a few NDAs and see this before it's ready. The forend is beaver tail-esque, but it's not really. It's a rounded forend with little cutouts in the top. Really like the way this feels. Most gun makers are now opting for an option like this, and it's really nice, very indicative of the modern age, and very popular with most shooters. Back into the action quickly, there is no need for an explanation on how this is coated. We've shown you that already. Really cool. The gun will come checkered. This one is uncheckered by my request, mostly so that we could get it shot a bit earlier, and secondly, I just thought it would be kind of cool to let the wood shine. The barrels, as you can see, have a very different fluted monoblock down to the barrels. I really love the way these barrels work and are machined on the monoblock into the action. They have that new bore profile, which is very smooth, vented mid, vented top, with that Blaser machine turned tapered rib, which is very, very nice. Catches a lot of light, which is kind of cool. A little bit more aggressive in its machining than some other makers. With 3-inch chambers at the back, we have 2 fixed chokes at the front. On this new FBX, you'll be able to get fixed choke or multi-choke options depending on your preference. At the front, there is a silver bead sight. You can have red, orange, white, or in fact anything you want in there. From the custom shop, I'm sure they could put rubies in if you like. I'm going to shoot it with a bead this morning and then maybe take a bead out this afternoon and set it up my way and see how it rolls then. I'm excited to get this shot. Let's go.
We have a finished gun.
Yeah, fresh delivery.
I am nervous. It's not often that I've seen a gun be built completely from the start before ever pulling the trigger.
Yeah.
There's a lot riding on this. Yeah. Okay. Hey, so far so good. All of those rabbits absolutely smoked them. You say this one's got fixed 3/4 chokes.
Unbelievable pattern on that bird.
Oh yeah. And you can just see on that, what's that, 30 meters, just
kind of
punch.
Yeah. Surprise, surprise.
Thank you. Tell you what, the biggest thing for me is that recoil. It is way lower than I expected.
Yeah.
I know when we tested it, it was low, but in a real life situation, it's a lot easier to relate.
And now you have a stock which fits you very well. So
yeah, it is
even better.
Remarkable. With cartridges that are usually stiffer.
A little bit strong, yes.
These are nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Yeah. And also the recoil is so straight. There's no muzzle jump in it. It's,
the transition on that quick pair was just bang.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
Good work, well done.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, I think we should shoot the tower and then we should go and shoot around a sporting. Oh wow, that's a big target. Ooh. Yeah, front edge.
Front edge.
Over the top both times. Nice shot. Five pairs, 5 stands, starting in the grouse butt. AB sim or AB report?
I would go for sim.
After you then, big boy. Go on.
Okay, let's try.
0-0. Yes, this is a competition.
Yeah, now.
Now? Oh, is this the way it works?
Yeah.
Ah, I didn't know the German rules. Kill loss. Oh, baby, that is how it's done. That is how it's done.
It was near to the tree.
Shooting this gun, 2 things stood out to me. First was how fast it handled, and second was how smooth the recoil was. That was tough.
Yeah, really tough.
That was incredibly tough.
You have to be so fast for the next one.
Aggression.
Yeah.
Trust. I guess this is all just the result of good gun design. Very nice, mate. Very nice. You can't just trust this gun. Get at him.
Yeah.
Shoot it like it's a 28-inch auto. Just bash.
Yeah, perfect. That's.
I got him with that looper. Pull, bang, bang. Yeah. And as much as I'm a fan of wild-looking wood and fancy engraving, lovely, mate. Nothing beats a gun that shoots sweetly. Okay, so let's shoot something that I'm actually going to hit now. He says it's some redemption story here. I don't think I'm going to claw back 3 targets over 2 stands. Pull. Enjoy. I think you'd have to try and miss to miss these. Those breaks got better and better as well.
Thank you.
Very nice. One more stand then, eh? The sim of the nastiest MIDI in the world, which is actually nicer from down here. A lot nicer. And the jumping rabbit that looks like this. Bang, bang.
Oof. Yeah, but it's not jumping all the time. So.
Just to make it slightly harder. How did that not break? Oh! Glad to be beaten by you.
Yeah.
Glad to be beaten by you.
Yeah, no problem, sir.
I would like very much at this point to congratulate you on designing a very good gun.
Thank you.
I've enjoyed shooting it. The speed and power and sort of aggression this gun handles is off the chain.
You can trust the gun 100%.
Yeah.
Even it's such a small gap for the rabbit, and it just smoked.
Yeah.
Yeah, unbelievable. It's very good for the rabbit.
I think I'd like to take the beat out. I reckon we could turn that aggression up to 11.
Yeah.
Let's find out. But first, we're going to go warm up because it's December and it's freezing cold and I'm pasty and southern and more used to tropical climates nowadays.
I think it's really nice to see Blaser pitching in at that top end competition level. This gun is not going to be cheap. It's £12,105 retail, which puts it up against some of the best on the market, and I think that it sticks, honestly. From the looks, to the technical capacity or the technical elements of this gun, to the way that it shoots, it's got it all. I always think about it a little bit like Formula One. You need these companies pushing the limits at the top end of gun making, at top end of ballistics and the top end of manufacture, coatings, machining. And that eventually, in 20 years' time, filters down to the rest of us, and that's kind of cool. I've enjoyed shooting this, I've enjoyed learning about how it's made. I loved every part of this process, especially the 4D stock. So that obviously is not included at 12105. 12105 gets you the standard sporting gun, which comes in with a non-adjustable comb. Adjustable comb is available, but will be a little bit more, and with 30 or 32-inch barrels to start.
A lot easier with no bead for me.
Really?
Well, suddenly you're just spinning around and using the power of the gun to kill it. You're not looking for a gap, anything, sort of thing. Same on the first one. I know what my eyes can see. I know where the bead is. I know where the gun is. Just see it, bang, shoot into it. And trust counts for a lot. And I've shot a lot of guns that you can't trust. And I could feel it with this. You know, when we were just sort of cutting loose earlier, without a bead, absolutely love it.
Okay.
I mean, I loved it before, but
I will try your barrel again.
You're just showing off now, aren't you?
Different barrel lengths will obviously become available across the next course of time that this gun is produced and manufactured. For me, the 4D stock, which is I think £1,050, is about the best asset you could attach to this gun. The speed with which they produced it and brought it over here, what was at the factory 2.5 weeks ago, is super impressive, super impressive. The way the gun handles is super impressive. The technology they've put into it is really cool, and generally speaking, I am impressed. I really enjoyed how aggressive I could be with this gun that weighs in at 8.5 pounds.
So there you have it, the brand new Blaser FBX. What do you think?
Thank you for watching, guys. This channel is made possible by our amazing sponsors. You can find out more about them in the description down below. And if you want to support the channel, you can join as a member. You get loads of extra content, well, some extra content, and occasionally we hook up and go clay shooting together as a membership group. If you don't feel like joining today, we really appreciate you watching and subscribing. Have a wonderful day.